How's it, buddy?
Hello, hello. Look at this fucking guy. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Todd, how you, bud?
I'm good, man.
Well, you boys ready?
Yes, sir.
Bring it.
I'm ready.
Well, welcome to what is going to be a really, really good show today, and part of it's going to be because of the two people that are with me in there. Todd is just a guy that I consider a really good friend, and of course, you know, our senior cameraman Andy Macdonald is with us today, and we're going to be breaking down a safari in the birthplace of safari in Tanzania.
Great to see you.
Good to see you, Dave. Good to be back, man.
Todd, besides being a hunter and a guy that, like me, is addicted to Africa, your company, Elite Outdoor Sports, is one of the largest manufacturer reps in the country, and that's really how you and I met, Todd. And if you want to, just tell me a little bit about, you know, Elite Outdoor Sports and what you do there.
Yeah, Elite Outdoor Sports is a sales and marketing agency in the hunt-shoot category, and we basically partner with manufacturers of hunting and shooting equipment to develop their dealer and distributor network throughout the U.S. and also in recent years internationally. I don't know that we're one of the biggest, but we're getting up there, and we've been really fortunate over the last few years to grow quite rapidly. But yeah, I mean, manufacturers will basically hire us to do business development by way of dealer and distributor networks, but primarily the bulk of our business is in kind of the civilian hunting, shooting category.
Well, like I said, you're judged by the company you keep, and you keep some awful good company. There's a lot of really top, recognizable companies that count on you to promote and sell their wares. Well, Todd, let's get back to really the reason we're all three together here today, and that is Africa, and that is a destination that all three of us have a burning passion for, and you've been doing it a long time. So just to set the stage, how many safaris have you done, Todd?
There's a lot of people done a lot more than I have. I think I've been over for 16 or 17 safaris. All over the continent, everywhere from Uganda, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Namibia, Cameroon. I love the idea of hunting kind of those iconic species in their indigenous habitat. So, and then aside from that, I kind of, you know, being a passionate hunter and, you know, having kind of a love and an affinity to just kind of, I don't want to say cultural immersion because we're definitely there in the context of hunting, but I want to see as much of that continent as possible in the context of hunting, just, well, frankly, because it's something I just love.
Well, Todd, I would say that you, when you look at your career, I think you've grown into what a lot of people do. They say, I might shoot one elephant, I may shoot one lion, one leopard, but once you've hunted buffalo, you'll hunt him every time you're around him. And I know you fall into that category, and that's really, you know, on the dangerous game side of things, that's what we're going to be mostly hunting today.
Yeah, I definitely try to incorporate a buffalo in any trip I take over there. I've been fortunate enough, I've taken what I would consider the four major subspecies of buffalo between Cape, Nile, savanna buffalo, and forest buffalo. But definitely that's something I always try to incorporate into a hunt for sure.
Well, Todd, Tanzania is not exclusively unique, but well known. It's such a vast country, and the game species are spread around into different areas. So to do a full bag, and this was a 21-day hunt. Yep. And
for sure, it was a long one.
I want to first of all tell me who you hunted with. What was the outfitter that you started with?
So I've been to Tanzania twice, and both times I hunted with Jaco Oosthuizen from Game Trackers Africa. Jaco runs a great operation. He's been hunting in Tanzania 30 years now.
Right.
He's a good friend. I've spent time with him in Namibia where he lives, gone to Bryce at his house in Swakopmund. So that's who I hunted with in both the Selous and in Masailand. So started out in the Selous, which is a iconic game reserve, massive, one of the largest game reserves on the planet, kind of in that southern Tanzania region. It's really known for specifically lion, leopard, and buffalo, but it's an incredible area. Tell me what your battery was. What firearms did you take? People always want to know. Sure. So I took 2 rifles, I believe, on this hunt.
Good.
And I'm a bit of a classic firearm guy, and there's a lot of people that are way more into that than I am. But I've got 2 rifles that have kind of become some go-to.
And what is
this
What's
rifle
your bolt
here?
gun?
Sure. This bolt gun is a Holland & Holland Deluxe in 375 H&H, and that's probably my go-to. I take that on pretty much every safari. It's a scoped rifle, so if I need to put a shot on a buffalo at some distance, I can dial that scope up, and then I can do close work. This is a Wesley Richards drop lock 470 nitro that I do close work, stopping rifle. I've shot some elephants with that rifle. And that one is a historic rifle. That's a 21-inch barrel gun that was originally shipped by the Wesley Richards firm to India to hunt tigers out of a howdah on the back of an elephant.
Wow.
And that gun was built in 1911, and it functions flawlessly.
There's a pretty generous bag on a 21-day safari for buffalo, and how many buffalo did you have on license in the Selous?
In the Selous, I had 3 on license.
Okay.
That was the primary thing we were going after. I think it's important, too, that when you go to an area, you keep an open mind, because you never know what opportunities are going to present to you. And if you go there with kind of a prescribed menu of kind of what you want to take, I mean, that's one thing, but I really think if you go there with an open mind, so much of a hunt is around the experience, not just the trophy. I mean, everybody has the opinion they want to check a box, but realistically speaking, I mean, one of the more fun things we hunted in the Selous was a bush pig, for crying out loud. We were looking for buffalo and came upon a little sounder of bush pigs in this ravine area, and I mean, that was one of the most memorable things. One is lying down.
Nasty little bugger.
Wow, look at that.
Well done, man. Good stuff.
Very cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome,
Appreciate it, buddy.
And that's something that makes my job unbelievable, and that's what's amazing, having someone that comes out and appreciates all that Africa has to offer.
Those little moments like that, they complete the fabric of the overall safari. But let's go buffalo hunting, Todd.
All righty. Shoot. The cow's right in front of him now with the oxpecker on her back. Up on he flies. Where is he? Where am I looking? Left of the forked tree.
Yeah, there's a black tree in front of you.
Yeah.
It's walking.
Yeah.
So now on the front of it. The right of the black tree now, in front.
Still moving. Yeah. Do it.
Look at that shit. I gotta put him graveyard aid.
It's done.
Pretty good choice there, man. Job well done.
Thank you.
That's a really nice Selous bull there. Now, that was your first one. Now,
Yeah.
you guys have been tracking. I'd seen that hunt. You know, you tracked them beautifully. You caught them. You had to be patient for that. He was laying down, but you took him. Your next hunt's a little bit different. You'd moved around and caught him in a really, really cool area. Let's walk through this hunt.
Well, this was about the end of that stalk. I mean, we kind of set up a few miles away and kind of were working this area of this kind of sequence of these kind of grassy, kind of swampy areas. And we had done it a couple of times previously. Most of these buffalo were taken in the last half of our time in the Selous. And we had worked this area several times, so we knew we were kind of getting toward the end where we kind of pop on the road, radio the truck, and they come get us and we move on. We got right to the end of this particular area, and that lone buffalo was standing out there, and we ended up taking him.
Deserving, huh? What did you say about the 375?
Well, he was too good to pass up. That's really a good
sure.
bull. And
that was a good bull.
And you cranked him, and I mean, he didn't go 40 yards, and he was down.
Just perfect. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate it, buddy.
So you got 2 of the 3 in the bag right now, and I think you were probably, searching for something. We're always searching for, one that's a little bit better than the last one, which is pretty damn hard to beat.
Sure.
That second bull you shot, but you found one.
Yeah,
Yes, we did.
It was toward the end of that might have been the last day or the second to the last day in the Selous before.
I believe it was the second to last, because the last we went back up to the other camp, if I'm not mistaken. But I enjoyed this one, man. This one was fun.
Is that him? needs to take a step or two. I can't see him at all. Oh, there he is. Okay. Yeah, I got him. This one right here, I mean, we thought these guys were gone, and we snuck across a wide open area to even get to where we could get a glimpse, and just waiting and waiting and waiting. And I mean, it's probably like 15 minutes, but it feels like 15 hours when you're sitting there.
It always
was longer
does. You know, with the tsetse flies
But it
and
just
the
drags
maponi flies and everything.
Man.
And boy, you just
And
had
it's
a
just so
small
fun.
window to shoot right through there.
Yeah, it was definitely threading the needle for sure.
Well, you know, there
sure,
is
but he was in a group.
if somebody's not used to hunting with a camera over their shoulder, you know, it takes, you know, obviously it takes a little bit of getting used to. But you and Andy, I will say this, it's like having a dancing partner. You always are anticipating what the move that the other one's going to make, and you guys just hunt seamlessly together. I just want to credit you both with that. You know, you're accommodating. You know what Andy's job is, and you play your part of it. And of course, Andy, he is, you know, the human tripod. He's right there. You make a damn good pair. I'll say that.
I appreciate
Thank you
that.
very
It's
much,
always a
Dave.
pleasure hunting with Andy for that reason specifically. I mean, we're like family. I mean, I look at this. I go on these hunts, and I mean, this is my escape.
Yeah.
It's just my way to unplug, obviously, but in a lot of ways, it's also kind of a family reunion.
Well,
I
that's
mean, the first day in camp,
I agree, Todd.
it's our hunt. You know,
Yep.
I've told it this many times,
And that
I've told
comes through
Buzz
in
this many times.
comes through in the
This
footage.
is our hunt. You know.
Well,
Yeah.
let me tell you, you both got a hell of a bull right there. That's a beautiful buffalo.
That was a fantastic buffalo, man. That's, yeah, you cannot fault that one. That is a beaut.
Well, so besides the three buffalo, you got the bush pig. What were any other memorable moments, other animals that you took in the slough?
Took a really nice Selous impala, which the Selou's not known for huge impala. Masailand certainly is, but the Selou's not, and we found a good impala. I took him.
Well, like I said, you took a bush pig, you took a wildebeest in there. I believe you got a what else did you shoot? You shot a hartebeest in there.
I
Yeah.
shot a hartebeest there.
So now you're about to make your first move into another area, and this just isn't another area. This is a really, really unique area. Let's talk about it.
Sure. This is that Mount Gelai camp. And the top of the rim of that crater is right around 9,300 feet. I think the camp was at 91 or 9,200 feet. And I live in northwest Wyoming, kind of around Yellowstone and the Tetons. So the altitude doesn't bother me, but I was not expecting altitude, to be very honest. I mean, I knew we were going to kind of a camp that was by a volcano, but I was not prepared for exactly what I was going to see. I mean, this place was unreal. It was 40 degrees at night there. Very, very cold. Andy was dying.
We're gonna talk about
I
that
wasn't
in a minute.
equipped, guys. I thought I was going to
I will
Masailand.
say this. You know, the camp here, you know, normally we stay in like, you know, a tented camp. And in some cases, you know, if we have kind of a travel day or kind of an area that's in between another area, we'll get more of a bungalow style situation. Yeah. This camp was ridiculous.
Well, we're going to be showing, you know,
cabin.
Christy will drop in some footage of that, and I especially want to make sure she includes your room with the big potbelly stove and all that. Now, Andy, Todd told me they put you in what they call the King's Lodge. Is that right? Full of amenities.
Yeah.
I believe you had a big stone fireplace and a hot tub in there, king-size bed. Does that sound about right?
You know, Dave, they don't like to advertise that. You know, it's No, man. Look, I sleep where I need to sleep on these hunts. Just being there it's such a privilege. Being up in a place like that. I mean, I'm with Todd. I was not expecting to be up on the rim of a volcano.
Boy, he's
I was
politically correct,
completely
isn't he?
unequipped. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you gotta
that's
be politically
exactly the
correct.
words that came out of his
Yeah,
mouth.
because
while
kind of
we
when
were
I
there,
talked
too.
to him, it sounded something like Todd's in there, he's sweating, he's got this big fireplace. I think they kicked the 2 goats out of the room that stay in there that I'm in, and they put 2 potato sacks on me. And by the time I was absolutely sure I was going to lose most of my fingers and toes, I asked Todd if I could come in and just sit by his pot-bellied stove for 5 minutes. He said, "Yeah, I guess
And
that'll
just
be
to
all
get
right."
a shower.
Yeah. He told me a different story, Todd.
Yeah, the great
Yeah,
part
no.
about that
No.
is my room actually had 2 beds, but I needed to put my clothes on something.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. But anyhow, it's a unique area, unique camp. Now, what kind of game were you? Was there any priority species that you were going to try to get while you were there?
Mostly the area itself, just because it was so unique. But we also knew it had loads of Maasai bushbuck. It was also very well known for some large buffalo, which I'd never had an opportunity to hunt in a mountain setting, which obviously was very attractive. There was some eland there as well. Occasionally, they get a nice greater kudu out of this area on the mountain, but we took a monster Maasai bushbuck.
You see him there right next to that bush. Yeah. You got him. Just get that sticks. Yeah, you can find him. Okay. You got him? Yeah. Okay. He's facing away. I had the shot. Apparently.
Huh?
Apparently. Congratulations.
It's a beast. Thank you so much, Jaco.
I guess after picking through them, if you're seeing that many a day, you're going to find one that you like, and you eventually did. You shot a really nice bushbuck.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time a Maasai bushbuck is it's so opportunistic that if you see one, you just take it. And we had an opportunity here. We could be picky. It was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
We were looking for buffalo one morning and ran across a group of Maasai doing a rain dance ritual, which was an incredible experience in and of itself, and managed to talk to them and get permission to observe. Just an experience. I mean, where are you going to see that? This is not like some cultural park, in South Africa. This is the real deal. Like it was.
You're on top of a
privilege.
volcano, man. Doing rain dances.
Unreal. I thought they were going to throw Andy in. I was pretty sure
Oh,
they were
well,
going to throw
it
Andy.
did work. It did work. It rained. The rain, she came, man.
Yeah,
You're doing your job, ladies.
yeah,
Thank you
no,
much.
that's
Just,
right.
Yeah.
like
Well
clockwork,
done.
man.
Well, the last, I think you certainly saved the best for last, because you went into an area that just the name Masailand, it's one of the most iconic areas in all of East Africa. And, certainly it's got the dangerous game, but, I know what pulled you there. And I think this was your first time in Masailand. Yep.
Yeah, it was. All of Jaco's trackers and all of those guys are Maasai. And, the first time I was over there, I got on so well with those guys. And they're like, man, you need to come and visit our home, essentially. And, I mean, obviously, the volcanoes, the savannas, the iconic species that are there, it's an incredible
Lake
place.
Natron, man.
Incredible. We kind of did off around that Lake Natron area, and Lake Natron is very famous for, it's very, I think, alkali.
Soda lake.
And it's tens of thousands of pink flamingos, pink pelicans, and I mean it's just one of those iconic areas that kind of sits off the shoulder of Oosthuizen, which is one of the active volcanoes in the area, right near Ngorongoro Crater. Serengeti's a stone's throw from this area, and it was just such a neat area. I mean, and it's wide open. I mean, there's nothing to hide behind in this area. So
Just
one of
a
the
red
cool
sugar.
things, yeah, red sugar, Maasai camo is what we call it.
Well, that's we're going to get into that now. I know you said one of the
Yeah.
species that really attracted you, that you wanted to take, and you did it right on the shores of Natron, was the white-billed bearded wildebeest. Now, you're talking about your Maasai camo. For people that don't know, kind of walk through why that's effective approach for hunting in these wide open spaces.
So Maasai are, I guess, I think pastoralist is the right word.
Yep.
I mean, they essentially, they have goats and they're famous for their cattle herds, and they migrate and follow the water historically, and their traditional dress typically is this red shuka. Which is basically like a big red sheet that they wear almost as a robe. And so the wildlife in the area is very accustomed to seeing Maasai because, I mean, for thousands and thousands of years, they've been tending their herds.
And they're not hunters.
Realistically, no, not at all. And
so the game just accepts
the
that's
animals
just part of
Sure.
They don't look at that anymore, and they do a couple of zebras walking across.
No, but they get pretty suspicious if you're wearing solid green.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
There's lots and lots of these wildebeest, but just seeing them and getting within shooting distance, that's two different things.
Well, and getting them to stop, number one. I hate shooting at an animal if it's moving. No, it doesn't. Looks gonna go down. It's going down.
You put it right on there, and you're about to walk up to a really, one of that area's really unique trophies.
Yeah, very, very cool species for sure, and one that I had wanted to take. I'd shot other species of wildebeest, and I mean, you can't kind of go down that road without, if you're in an area that's got a unique one, without paying attention and taking one. So, in that setting, I mean, my goodness, like that's special. I mean, Natron is such an iconic lake. I mean, I used to read about it in National Geographic when I was a kid. I mean, so to be able to be in these places with these iconic species and have the memory of the hunt with the species in the area, it's just, cake, icing, ice cream.
But one of the more unique animals in this ecosystem is the Gerenuk. Tell me about the Gerenuk.
It looks like an animal that came straight out of an Avatar movie or Star Wars.
That's well said.
I mean, they are otherworldly looking. Really exaggerated features with that long neck and those big kind of doe-ish eyes and that narrow snout, and even the horns are almost anime. There's nothing proportionate that makes sense about what these animals look like. And they graze on trees. The Maasai call them swala twiga, which I think twiga is giraffe, if memory serves, right, Andy?
Exactly, yeah.
So,
Swallow is like an impala giraffe.
Yeah, impala giraffe, exactly.
This one gave you a run.
So-
It looked like he kept shifting positions on you, and you're shooting
this
right
bugger.
through little windows.
Listen, I am not an inherently great shot if I'm rushed, and I don't think anyone really is. I mean, it takes practice, and I've made so many mistakes throughout my hunting career by rushing things, and I've arrived at the point to where I would rather lose an animal than wound an animal for not just ethical reasons, but also because, I mean, your time is limited there. And so, there are times where I probably could have pushed myself to pull the trigger, but it's way more important to me to get the job done quickly and ethically and get an animal on the ground. I don't want to waste anyone else's time, by having to track something. I don't want the animal to suffer. And so this guy gave us the slip a bunch. There were a lot of times where I thought, okay, this is it. And right when I'm flipping the safety off, he's moving.
Well,
So-
whatever you did, you finally, it came right for you.
That's him for sure. Wowzer.
What a beautiful animal. Thank you so much,
You're welcome,
Jaco.
friend.
I'm not going to shake your hand.
Well done.
What some people may consider, and they may be right, and I've never shot one myself, but I've been in on, hunts for them, but is the lesser kudu. He's the smaller version of the big, his bigger cousins that are distributed well from southern to East Africa. But that's maybe the holy grail for Masailand, and I know you wanted one badly.
Well, it's a holy grail spiral horn in general. I mean, Masailand for sure. Just kind of that cornerstone marquee species that you want to take there. And they are so pretty. And this area we were in they were very, very plentiful. They were also aggravating. We saw a lot that we weren't able to get a shot on. And that was very fortunate because the one we ended up taking was like hands down the biggest.
You want him? Yes, yes. That's it.
Finally. If the bush gives you a gift, you don't slap it in the face and
The
say
good one,
no.
the easy ones make up for the hard ones, and there's way more hard ones than there are easy ones. But
That's a
And I
that's a fact.
guarantee you right now, this was not the first lesser kudu we tried for. We we did a lot of stalking for lesser kudu, man.
The drive into this camp, Dave, we saw 3 that in any other area would have been shooters.
yeah. Well, that's the one
On
I'm
the
talking.
drive
But this
into this camp.
this right here is a gorilla
Beast.
of a
Yeah.
lesser.
Oh yeah, and just because they're smaller, Dave, doesn't make them any less of a grey ghost, if not a little bit more. It's unbelievably hard to see them in the brush.
You ended up your hunt. You took a couple of big Tommy gazelles, and which is always a harder hunt than most people.
Nightmare, horrible things. Horrible
Yeah.
things.
But
Yeah.
but then
They're a lot smaller than they look.
let's go to from the smaller to the biggest of the plains game, because you shot the last day of your hunt. You said you're always a lucky last day hunter, and you proved it right here. A really beautiful eland bull.
Just
But-
needed him to stop. This is a Patterson eland, which is
Yeah.
one of a couple of different subspecies of eland. I've shot Livingston eland in the Selous before, but never a Patterson. It's just, you are slapping the safari gods in the face if you see a bull like that and you do not shoot that animal.
And that's what you want. Trophy eland, even if their horns are wore down, if you got that big mop of hair that the old mature bulls have, and he hadn't really started wearing his horns down, so he's got good length and he's got the mop, but they're just a colossal animal. You said, people just don't realize until you walk up on one how large an animal that they are.
Yeah.
Massive things.
Well,
Massive things.
want-
Widely known as the best table fare, too.
Oh, they are the filet mignon of
Definitely.
the savannah.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to say something, because you've seen on every shot you've made, you made it on a unique shooting platform. Now, everybody in Africa quickly, if they've never used them before, they quickly get accustomed to using a 3-legged shooting tripod, the sticks. You really introduced me to the best shooting sticks out there. I mean, and they're called 4 stable sticks because instead of a 3 tripod. And so,
Right.
what's the advantages of those? And there's definitely an advantage.
So, oh, no question about it. I've shot off bipods. I've shot off, the traditional kind of 3-legged shooting sticks. And it's all fine and good because you have the forend of the rifle anchored, but the reality is that you need as much stability as possible. So multiple points of contact, and when you put that forend on a traditional, set of sticks, that's great, but your backside, your buttstock tends to wobble, and obviously with the length of that barrel, that wobble is amplified. But what this platform really excels at is the fact that you can put that forearm on the front of the stable sticks, drop the buttstock on the rear, and it takes every amount of wobble. It minimizes the amount of human interface on the firearm, and all you do is point and shoot. It's almost like having a bench rest in the field. I mean, and you use them similarly to any other shooting stick. It does take a little bit of training to be able to effectively mount your rifle on it quickly.
But once you mastered it, there's not too many pieces of equipment that are really game changers. Those 4 stable sticks are, but
It makes a huge difference.
Makes
Dave.
a huge
difference.
All right, you are now the hunting part of this safari is over, but the adventure part is not,
Sure.
because you are now on your way to one of the most iconic. It's a World Heritage Site, the Ngorongoro Crater. And this was your first time into the crater?
Never been there. Andy hyped it pretty good, and he hadn't been there for a little while. Andy spent quite a bit of time in Tanzania, lived there for quite some time. And, he always has hyped this up, and we had an opportunity to basically take an overnight trip and go into the crater and spend some time there filming and viewing. I'm not sure if it was better or worse that we went there. It's damn sure better that we didn't go there first. I can tell you that. Because
Yeah, you might have noticed there's some pretty decent buffalo that live in the crater.
isn't that something? Isn't
One
that
or
something?
two, man.
There's a monster buffalo in that crater. Anytime there's animals that aren't getting pushed, and look at this. This is wide open. There's no cover here. Those buffalo would be gone if you were in the bush. These things don't care. All they do is sit there and mock you and give you the finger. That's what they do.
The Maasai say God created his own private wildlife viewing area, and he called it Ngorongoro because there's nothing like it in the world, and it's just anybody that goes to Tanzania, you are missing out if you don't take the trip. It's a couple of day trip.
You have
get
to
there,
go here.
but it is
Yeah.
a life-changing experience. Yeah, and of course, with Andy over your shoulder, you guys always bring back the memories. You bring the safari experience to life like few teams can do, and we are always
We
appreciative
just have
of
good
that.
times, man.
Well, it
we
shows.
just have
I'm
good
grateful to
times.
be a part of. I'm very grateful to be a part of the Safari Classics family. That's for sure, and always
we
look
are
forward to
grateful for
spending
you,
time
Todd.
with you guys.
Yeah. Well, as Andy said, we are
Always.
grateful for you, my friend, and look forward to catching up. I think you and I are going to spend some time together here pretty soon as the fall gets on, and I'm looking forward to that. And
Thank you, guys. Yeah,
Miss you, brother.
I'll miss you too, but it's been too long. You need to get your ass back out here ASAP.
and I need to get mixed up in one of those hunts with you boys.
You have to, Dave. That would be the Three Musketeers. I think that would be
100%.
one that I would
I don't think
really
No good
enjoy.
could possibly come of that. I'm
No
dead set
good.
against
No
it.
good.
It
No
may be
good could
wrong, but it
possibly
might
come
be
of it.
fun too. Well, as we always say this time of the show, if you enjoy this kind of programming as much as we enjoy creating it and bringing it to you, It's really important to support the show, and you can do that by liking and subscribing. But if you're new to the show, hey, welcome. If you're a veteran, if you're starting to tune in every week, cannot tell you how much we appreciate it. And we're going to keep bringing the action. And if you'll keep watching, we'll keep showing. So thank you for being here, and we will see you next time on Safari Classics TV.